Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. We're taking a quick look here at ICP, seeing what's going on. It's looking pretty decent. We broke through this little channel that we've had. Keep in mind, this is a very short-term channel of this most recent low that we saw to this fib level at about, well, basically 11.7. So 1170 is that lowest point we saw here recently. We've wicked down a couple of times to retest this lower level, and essentially the price continuing higher. Keep in mind, this is a previous high as well, 1170. So pretty solid little area there at $12 for support. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at the larger time frames, more so midterm 2, focus on the 4-hour and the hourly, kind of see what's going on here, but we're still not in great shape. You got to keep this in mind, we're well below the cloud. A lot of disadvantageous stuff here. We want to kind of draw out some trend lines too and kind of see what's going on. So I don't want you to get super excited, but I do want you to understand there's some positive shifts in momentum here that could factor into a larger, bigger picture of some really, really cool stuff. Okay, so if you're new to the channel, just know I'm not a financial advisor. I love teaching people to trade. I hope you can learn something today. If you do want to become a better trader, again, cryptocash.tech is the site. Link down below. Quick congrats to our community members here. Took some nice profits here from our some of our scalps here. Solana, Matic, we've got an ETH and was it AVAX, ETH, AVAX, and Litecoin. All 4 or 5 of those trading pairs are in the green here. Caught that nice dip with our trading bot. So again, if you're not familiar with this, cryptocash.tech is where you register. It's essentially just an automated trading bot that I created based on my day trading strategy, and it essentially takes profit pretty quickly. Again, that's the whole concept. We've got some regular swing trades as well. It's an alternative if you're not much of a day trader, but our Premium Plus group is cranking right now. So congrats, I'm super happy it's working well for you. Let's look at the daily and work our way down, see what's going on. So again, just to touch on this here, I talked about this earlier. Previous wick up to about 1190, roughly just say $12. That's essentially the current support level for us, okay? Not a guarantee it's gonna hold. We do got a fair value gap just below that level that has already been swept, previous level liquidity. So ultimately, for the most part, pretty safe. But keep in mind, our moving average is down there at about $11 even. I'm just going to round down a little bit. And if it does come down to that level, we could see part of that newest fair value gap get swept as well, which is a common occurrence for just a partial fill. All I'm getting at here is that we got mostly support. We're still ascending bullishly here on this trend, and there's more positive than negative in that sense. You do got to recognize we are seeing a negative sign here with the MACD divergence. This could easily turn into an MACD FU where the price bounces right off that level. So if we do see a strong catapult in the opposite direction, obviously that will change things. But for right now, we got to presume the price may continue lower because the momentum to the upside is dissipated. That's basically what it's telling us. The 12-day exponential moving average intersecting with a 26 in a downward fashion really just tells us that there's that shift in momentum. That's all it is. It's not a green or red light to pump the brakes. It's just kind of an awareness factor, okay? We got to be aware that's happening. Stochastic RSI is also swinging down. Traditional RSI is in the sweet spot between 60 and 70, and of course, MFI is pretty high. So those are not terrible things. You add that all together, it's kind of a 50-50 situation. So again, not the worst, not the best. That's kind of where we're at there. So having said all of that, let's go ahead and see what's going on at this point. So double check in the 4-hour time frame. We can kind of see here at this point with the 4-hour time frame here that we are trying to converge on the MACD but haven't yet. If we take a look at stochastic RSI, we are converging quite strongly here. Money flow index is extremely low. Usually when you see MFI this low, it's a sign to buy, okay? Just a general concept here. Again, same thing inverse could be said when the money flow index is extremely high. Again, there's a lot of contributing factors or things you want to verify, but with us being above the 20-day SMA on the daily, I think that's a really good sign here that there is a potential for the price to continue to push upwards. So let's take a quick look at the moving averages here on the 4-hour and kind of see we're above the 100, below the 50 and the 20. So again, as you can kind of see here, the 20 is trying to line itself with this descending trend. It's an inevitability really with the 20-day SMA. Once we get above that level, I'll feel much more confident about a long position. Okay, not to say you couldn't still do it now, but it's not a full confirming factor, right? You'll never truly get full confirming factors, but I can tell you that statistically, the more you have, the better off you're going to be. And if you look at this here, though, this is one of the few coins that actually filled its entire level of liquidity from that large candle wick down. So this coin is ready to rock and roll. There's no doubt about it. There's some really good contributing factors here, kind of more so volume and liquidity related, but those are good things too, okay? So again, not in bad shape. I would love to see the RSI up over 50. What do they say? Beggars can't be choosers, so we'll wait on that one. And then we'll take a look quickly at the hourly and call it here for us. So just to clarify on the hourly, Same thing with larger time frames. You can kind of see this descending trend. The 50 is running concurrent with that. Until we break above this descending trend, I'm not super convinced that the trend is over, but it's looking pretty good because we still have yet, up until now, to have established higher highs, right? We have this one right here. This is a false positive. Everything else has been lower highs and lower lows. So this is our first higher high to break the most recent high. That's a good sign. Okay, again, the way that you shift momentum from a descending trend is you establish range-bound activity. While this is not a long range-bound type of scenario, it is range-bound nonetheless, where we kept retesting these lows here at about $12 and just rounding down, and retesting these highs about $12.25. Okay, keep bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. Now it broke above. Hypothetically, it's going to come back down. Let's go ahead and see this here. The likelihood of the price action coming back down to retest that and continue higher. It's really, really common for the most recent high, which is this guy here, to be retested and the price to bounce. Okay. So again, pending Bitcoin doesn't do anything obnoxious here, which is extremely possible, then we're going to see this coin likely catapult and a bounce off the 1225 to continue higher. It may not pull back that level, but just generally speaking, when you break through a resistance, it's oftentimes retested as support. All right, so that's kind of that there, but here's the elephant in the room here, folks. You got to keep this in mind. Ichimoku Cloud, a very, very good indicator for confirming bullish trends, or just in general, if you're on the right side of tracks or not. It's going to be working as a tentative resistance until it doesn't. Okay, so we're going to have this here. Interestingly enough, a lot of times it'll run concurrent with moving averages. So we're probably going to see the moving average kind of work itself in the upper lead there. So we're a long ways away from a true confirming factor. But between now and then, if you want to consider maybe scalping or some shorter term holds, it does seem likely that we're going to retest this this level here and bounce. But again, probably best to wait for this descending trend to get broken first. That's just me. Again, I'm more of a confirming factor kind of trader. That's why I have hundreds of traders underneath me, and I prefer to use good risk tolerance and make sure that nobody else gets wrecked. So trust me when I say this, it pains me to not send signals. But at this point, I think no signal is a good signal for the most part, considering the current circumstances of the market. But I'm super happy that my day trading bot is working very well for you guys and gals. Greatly appreciate the feedback. Super happy it's working for you. I'm also glad that Bitunix, one of our newest exchanges here, phenomenal exchange, is working really well for everybody too. You get solid rewards when you register, no KYC, no VPN. They also have a trading competition coming up here. So within 24 hours from now, you can start registering for that global event. That'll be available until from the 15th to the 29th, a 2-week period. So be sure to check that out. Really, really cool. You have to use my link to register to qualify for this. All this stuff is down below. So you basically use the link to register, and then you register for this sometime tomorrow. Okay. All right, folks. Check it out. Let me know your thoughts. Love to work with you in the future. If you want to jump on over to our website or our Discord, just get to know the community. Welcome aboard. Love to have you. Thanks again for joining me here. Look forward to working with you. Have a good rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.